All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 6 of Pro Play Tour Las Vegas. I'm Alex Simo, joined by Mr. Joseph Rothschild, and we have, again, just so many heavy hitters in this field. This is table 6. We have Noah Bagelman, known as he was a Draco Sky Striker player initially, but he's actually going to be on 60-card Pendulum. I told you guys that there's like several Pendulum players at this event, and I think him as well as 3 Stacks, who we featured earlier, they were both next to each other, so they almost had to play a mirror, so that would have been something. But he'll be going up against Caesar, who's playing, this is the first time we're seeing it on stream, Combo Thunder.
Yeah, we actually haven't seen a lot of Combo Thunder in general, just as it's kind of been thrown out of the format for less fragile combo decks like Pendulum and more powerful boss monsters that resist Dingirsu, as Thunders famously don't. But it's still a very explosive deck that can catch anything off guard, and playing against not Dingirsu has got to be a blessing for Caesar.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just in a field littered with Orcust everywhere, I mean, it's going to be something a little bit different. Both these decks, very heavy investment into that turn 1 play.
For
so
sure.
I'm really curious to see how this one is going to turn out. So let's just go ahead and transition on over to them. And 40 minutes on the clock, and they should be good to go.
I think they're even using the same sleeves. How often does that happen?
Right, usually it's like, you know, they're both black, and then we can't make out one card from another.
These are like beige. All right.
Are they, or is it just the lighting?
Here comes Draconet. Draconet is, of course, the combo starter of all combo starters, almost as powerful as Supreme King Dragon Darkworm.
Now, this is going to be interesting because, again, both of these players are playing combo decks. I'm not exactly sure how well this is going to bode for either of them because they both get to combo off. The side decks are probably going to be very important here. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess Pendulum can play pretty decently going second, but
it's fine. It can play decently in that it can just, smoke screen into an aggro deck that just uses a Pendulum summon to put a whole bunch of beaters on board in the battle phase as a removal. But if it's not ever able to establish scales, it's not very good.
We're going to see a danger here. Caesar pretty much already has everything he needs, but...
And he discards a Dragon Roar. Yeah, I think that's going to be banished over the next couple of actions.
Yeah. Going to get the Mothman out to the field. Caesar drew another card. Now we're going to go ahead and link.
Oh, and going for the Lambda immediately.
Going to go ahead and trigger the effect of the Ib.
Now you can see there's already the World Legacy Guard Dragon, so we can get the World Chalice. And from here, you know, it's just smooth sailing towards the combo. Gonna send all 4 off for Saruya, potentially?
No, probably Appaloosa.
Oh, you know better than me.
Yeah. This way you just safeguard against any sort of shenanigans. Again, I think if you're sitting across from Noah and you see his deck is 60 cards, you can probably assume that he's playing like one of only like 2 decks, both of which are typically like combo decks like this.
Right. Appaloosa has been such an incredible flex point for this deck because not only does it prevent interaction past a certain point in the combo, it's also a dragon, which means you don't have to invest 2 summons into the link arrows of Lambda to get a zone that 2 dragons are pointing to. Instead, you can just use the Grave Effect of World Chalice Guard Dragon to bring back the copy of whatever dragon tuner of choice you've selected to the field and then link summon an LP. We're now going into Brotar and fetching this bad boy.
Yeah, so Brotar is going to go ahead and use the effect, pitch the Nessie to grab a copy of Chaos Dragon Levianeer, and then since Nessie was discarded, it's able to grab another danger. And now here comes Pisty, so we can go ahead and continue extending our plays.
So from here, Pisty, of course, can get the banished copy of World Chalice Guard Dragon so that it remains in the graveyard for future turns.
The thing is, like, Colossus can actually put a damper on the 60-card Pendulum deck because it does have a lot of cards I can add from deck to hand.
Oh, chat caught a mistake of mine. Appaloosa, not a dragon, a enabler for the dragon link. I should be a little more specific about how I choose my words.
So we're going to have the Dragoonity Knight Romulus search a copy of Dragon's Ravine. Such a good card.
Dragon's Ravine has been an incredible boon to these combo decks, and Romulus, as a searcher that's always available in the extra deck, has been an incredible point to extend your combos further.
And Dragon Ravine just gives you access to almost the entirety of your deck at that point. Now we're possibly going to see the Levianeer get dropped here. Looks like Caesar was considering it.
It's unreal that Levianeer is such a powerful card for going second. It can just rip through boards. but it's also unreal that it rips cards out of the hand going first.
Yep.
You can keep your opponent on a 4-card hand or a 3-card if you've got a copy of the big boy in Graveyard.
Darkest Diabolos. Yeah, this is going to be rough because now Caesar's not only going to be able to rip 2 cards out of Noah's hand potentially, but then Noah's going to be down. He's going to have to be staring down this Appaloosa, probably a Hope Harbinger in addition to that.
Yeah.
And there's going to be more to follow up, most likely a Colossus to prevent him from even adding any more cards from deck to hand. It's going to be an uphill battle.
All right, so that's 3 darks. You know what that means.
That means we're ripping cards out of the hand.
2 8s does kind of scream Hope Harbinger, and against Pendulum, it's an incredibly powerful card. You know what's a great place to keep Servant? Under an Xyz monster.
So Noah's going to go ahead and shuffle that card away.
Chat, the Pendulum player is thinking, is this how people feel when I combo for 20 minutes? Ooh, it looks like we're not going to go into Hope Harbinger. Instead,
Ooh, we're going to
opting for Trishula.
Wow, okay. So now this is going to give Caesar insight into what Noah's playing if he already wasn't aware. And so this is going to be big because this could dictate the line that Caesar takes to end the board. Trishula essentially allowing allowing Caesar to banish a card out of Noah's extra deck. It will also banish the top card off of his deck as well, I believe.
The 3 that it picks are banish 3 cards from your deck, from the top of your opponent's deck, and from their extra deck.
Gotcha. So we hit the Electromite.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. The war of the combo decks.
Yeah, well, right now I got to give it to Combo Thunder. This is looking exceptionally strong. Masquerena as an endpoint for the combo, with the activation of Thunder Dragon Dark getting a copy of Hawk to hand, which is going to bring back a Roar whose effect hasn't activated yet.
Nope.
Oh my goodness. Wait, might we actually see a Hope Harbinger regardless?
Yeah. Because we still haven't even gotten the Darkest Diabolos back to the field yet because we haven't tributed for Colossus.
And there it is.
Yep.
Here comes the Diabolos. Wow.
Noah just scratching his head there. Not looking too happy. Now, the one plus side of Darkest Diabolos is that you can opt to put the card either on the top or bottom of your deck. So if it's something you don't want to keep, you can put it on the bottom. But if you really want to keep it, then you can, and preserve your hand essentially, you can choose to keep it on top.
Effectively, Darkest Diabolos reads, your opponent is playing without access to the card on top of their deck.
So Diabolos is going to tribute off the Tsuchinoko, actually. So that way he gets to keep it on the board for the Hope Harbinger.
Oh, this is such a strong board.
We have seen so many crazy boards today. I love it.
All right, he draws for turn.
Okay. Noah on 4 cards in hand.
Wow. All right, so what's the line that outs this?
I like the line of going to game 2, personally. But he's going for it. Okay, so Master Cerberus.
So Master Cerberus has a bit of the wind taken out of its sails when it can't be fodder for Electromite. He's thinking about the Hope Harbinger here. You almost want to shotgun it just so your opponent isn't able to plus at all and has to have exact scales in their opener. It looks like he's allowing it to resolve.
I think that's fine.
Ooh, we're going to set
Curtain Raiser.
Curtain Raiser. So now we have the material for Electromite, but no Electromite.
Yeah, that's a bit rough.
This is a 4 and a 7. What if we just perform a Pendulum Summon?
I think they were clarifying on if he wants to. Is he trying to activate Curtain Raiser's effect? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure.
You could go to Battle Phase here, try and proc the Masquerena. Then the Hope Harbinger will redirect it to itself, and you'll lose.
So here comes Allure of Darkness.
This I might actually negate.
That I was thinking might be worth it, and yeah,
we're
Noah's
going to game 2.
Scoop it up. Okay, that makes sense. I think Noah's just really trying to bait out that Harbinger, so that way he could get Allure to resolve, maybe get a couple cards deeper to find someone. It was still a very daunting uphill task for Noah if he was going to actually come back from that.
For sure a long shot, but you have to play to your outs.
Of course.
The grand tournament of the series is upon us as Season 2 comes to a close with the Pro Play Tour Invitational, where players will be playing for $25,000 in cash and prizes. Still not qualified? Last chance qualifiers will occur on day 1 of our 3-day event, and we'll fire every 8 players, awarding a box in prizing and invites. Be ready to play a few, because LCQs are only $10. Saturday is day 1 of the main event with a top competitor playoff following on Sunday. Stick around for day 3, where we will have team events as well as a variety of side events. For more information, visit ppgeventmanagement.com and come play with the pros.
And we're going into game number 2.
So if you're Noah, I assume you're going first.
I would hope so.
And Caesar, I think, is probably not playing a ton of hand traps, There's probably not many in the main, and even fewer in the sideboard. His deck is in the business of ripping through established boards no matter what they end on, and his list represents one of the best opportunities to do so no matter what Noah can do.
So Foolish will send Dark Worm. Dark Worm's going to add gate 0. One thing I will say is in Caesar's favor is that when the side decks are in play, Caesar has a lower count in his deck, which means that he's going to have a much higher probability of seeing these side deck cards. And Droll and Lockbird, it doesn't come up often, but against a deck like Pendulum, Droll can actually be devastating.
This matters a lot. Droll and Lockbird is a hand trap that's kind of fallen out of favor as it has no longer been able to lock people with Trickstar Reincarnation. Is that a Dino-Mist Brachioos?
That is.
Unbelievable. And Caesar taking a sec to read it. I will
Rightfully
as well.
so, yes.
What on earth does this do?
I heard that we saw that. It allows you to make Abyss Dweller because it's a level 4 for 1.
Cute. Anyway, what I do like is that though Caesar is likely not on very many hand traps, the ones that he is playing are all turn enders. Things like Droll and Lockbird, things like Nibiru. And Droll and Lockbird represents an extremely powerful option against Noah. Please stop proving me wrong, Caesar.
Ooh, the Imperm. And this is kind of what I was saying. Like, we don't know if Caesar... Droll was not in his main deck, 100%. Imperm, debatable, but it's Combo Thunder. I feel like you want to play as many combo cards as possible. Caesar could have sided both Droll and Imperm in, and like I said, because his deck count is 40 instead of 60, he has a higher likelihood of seeing these cards that actually work defensively when you're in a situation like this. And
wow.
you got to give it to Noah. Noah was able to make a Dweller, which is...
You saw his eyes roll a little bit there.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the same way, dude.
Like, it's pretty good, but when your opponent just has it all, that's just what's going to happen.
So you're telling me Noah, the combo deck, went for the most powerful part of his combo, faced Droll and Lock, made Abyss Dweller anyway, passed, and then lost to Infinite Impermanence. Oh, this is so frustrating. I suppose there's a scenario where, because it's a 3-card hand, it isn't able to pop off as often as it usually would, but a safer means that I think almost the entire deck is an open book to Caesar.
The one thing I will say is that the Abyss Dweller is on 2,200 attack.
Whoa,
because Brachioos gives it 500 attack.
I looked it up. It's actually Plesios.
Or Plesios,
I apologize to chat. I will be making a very long apology YouTube video that is monetized.
To all the Dino-Mist players.
Yeah, to both of the Dino-Mist players. Oh. I mean, this is something that people had to contend with, I don't know, back in 2013 about waiting with Dweller. And, if you had waited for Caesar to summon a monster, you could have not fallen prey to Infinite Impermanence, I suppose.
So we're going to see Destrudo, so that's going to be 4K.
Oh, tell me there's a Yazi in here as well? That would be a great way to end the game immediately. Chat, it's not even 22. It's been negated.
Oh. That's disappointing.
Oh, that is likely it. Oh, okay.
So
it's just a Lambda. Don't worry. Of course, that Dragon Dark is going to turn into a Dragon White. And then we'll be able to make Elpie. We're just a couple material off of the link arrows necessary for Appaloosa.
I was going to say, I don't feel like Caesar actually has room in his extra deck to play all the components necessary for the Yazi Mare combo.
You need what, like 2 Linkuriboh, a Yazi? Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, the Combo Thunder uses almost its entire extra deck on turn 1, apart from like a redundant Colossus if you need it, and maybe one other card.
The monster under Dweller is Shockmaster. Thank you, chat. All right, so this is a pretty good card. We can activate the effect of Thunder Dragon Dark
Dark's
in
in
order
order
to get a Hawk.
Hawk can then resurrect Dark. Can Caesar game here?
It's not looking fantastic. He went into Unicorn just for the arrows.
Because, like, while it seemed very hopeful that he could, I mean, he doesn't, I don't think he has it yet.
I mean, you were saying this deck is extremely tight in the extra. You know, you don't have room for all these excess arrow cards, all these things that turn LP and Pisty on just by virtue of having the correct directional, you know, lineup. And as a result, you sometimes have to make nightmares just to unlock your extra monster zone.
So we're going to link off again here.
Wow.
For a
Excuse me? Is that Unchained Abomination?
Yes. And
well,
now we're going to go into the Guard Dragon combo here. Okay, when I said the extra deck was tight, clearly I was wrong because apparently Caesar found a way to make room for Unchained Abomination.
Chat, here's the problem. We're operating on a completely different brain length than Caesar. You know, I'm here saying, well, he's not playing too many hand traps and he leads with infinite impermanence. Simo's out here saying, well, space in the extra deck is tight, then here's a Hakai monster. I mean, this list is almost entirely spice. There's no fundamentals. The whole rack is in here.
That's incredible.
Caesar's list is so awesome. I just love seeing Yu-Gi-Oh decks like this that in the hands of a skilled pilot can translate into these victories because you're using cards that come up so infrequently. He's thinking real quick about what he wants to summon from the deck. There's a ton of good targets.
I think he's out of cards. Is that the problem?
Yeah, so getting Brotar isn't really an option, except for more fodder. And there's no vanilla in the graveyard, so World Chalice Guard Dragon isn't very good either.
Unchained Abomination's nice because it can at least present a way to possibly deal with the Dweller before attacking.
Unchained Abomination also has, like, occasional utility against the Pendulum monsters that destroy themselves. Are we trying to rip a card out of the hand here? No.
Was he trying to summon Levianeer?
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Oh, boy, am I glad about it.
Could you imagine? Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, so unfortunately, this looks like it's just going to be a very awkward LP. You just get a monster that's only okay instead of one that actively wins you the game.
Like, I feel like there's got to be a way Caesar can weave this together, right?
Oh, for sure.
Especially after going into the Unchained Abomination. Like,
and I mean, at the end of the day, you know, Noah still only has 2 cards in hand.
Yeah.
As long as he can present any sort of disruption, it's going to be devastating for him.
Looks like he's looking at the Guard Dragon.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's not great, but it is a card. Chat, yeah, that's what happened. There's no discard available, so going into Brotard isn't very good. Instead, it looks like we're going to link into, oh, I don't know, like a Link Karibo or a Pisty or something.
You make the Pisty, so
All
that
right.
extends to a degree.
Pisty can bring back a dragon, and
So it gets
Seifert's a
Seifert.
pretty good one.
You know, Caesar just having another think here. Again, I think this goes back to what I was saying with, you know, as cute as Unchained Abomination is this going to win him the game?
We're so close. You can't look at a board that includes a Pisty, an LP, a Seifert, and an Unchained Abomination and think, boy, I have no way to get to lethal. All right,
Yeah,
Noah asking for a play.
Yeah.
And he says, okay, let's go to combat. The Unchained Abomination with 3,000 attack points, I believe.
So that's a bit lackluster.
Oh, yikes.
So we're just going to see Unchained Abomination's 3K attack, I believe. LP and Pistia, I believe, are 1,000 each.
As far as I know, I'll check them real quick.
And then Seifert is 15?
Seifert is 18.
18.
He's a big old boy.
Wow. That card couldn't get any better.
The Guard Dragons are both 1,000, yes.
And now we're just going to link off here for link 3.
No, Trish is fine. That's 3 dragon monsters.
So this just allows Caesar to go ahead and target the Electromite again.
Yeah.
which is going to make Noah's life a lot more difficult.
For sure. Let's get the card off the top of the deck as well, and we can banish almost anything here. I kind of like, maybe a vanilla. Yeah, looks like that's what he's going for.
Yep.
Oh, and I think Caesar is just kind of frustrated with himself. It really did feel like there was a way in which he could present lethal that turn, but now he's at 4,000. Noah's got 4 cards in hand, and all he has to walk through is 2 monsters that don't really have important disruption effects.
Yeah, no, I don't think anything really matters too much here.
That really should have ended on Boral Sword. All right, we'll lead with an allure.
It's a good start. I love the gravitas of Noah's draws there.
Banishing the Time Gazer Magician. Sometimes you'll find it. Although Sork is not particularly good against Unchained Abomination.
Okay, into the void. We're digging deep.
Oh, let's go.
Another
into the void.
Third one.
Where's the magical explosion?
Yeah, with only 4,000 life points, Noah has to have a way to take care of this. Is that a pen call?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Wow. Pen call also really good into a board of Unchained Abomination. It turns out when your scales can't be destroyed, you are sitting pretty.
So we're going to go ahead and grab Purple Poison and the Harmonizing. Purple Poison will also get its effect to be able to boost without destroying itself, which is a nice interaction underneath the pen call.
We were speaking yesterday about a time when you could get double Iris Magician. Your monster wouldn't be destroyed with Time Pendulum Graph. Thank goodness that this now seems unfair.
Isn't it funny how things are relative like that?
Yeah.
Duelist Alliance.
Oh, there's a lot we can get here. There's a copy of
Luster.
Dark Worm in the Graveyard. I mean, things are looking up.
Now I like this. Now you can Luster.
And pass?
Yeah, well, that's true.
Luster's a lot less good when you're not able to destroy
that's
your
fair.
perp.
Yeah. I just remember the interaction with pen call with, and then I forgot Luster. So Dark Worm is your free summon at least. Desires, we're going deep.
Well, he's on 60 cards. You know, the payoff for playing so many cards is that once you're out of your must-find searchables, you can just fire off cards like Pot of Desires, which plus you to infinity, and allow you to produce unbeatable boards.
With a nice Pendulum summon, though, this should be... I feel like Noah can clean this up pretty easily. So there's the Luster. We're going to link 2 here.
For Electromite.
No. Going to go for Romulus.
Oh, is that?
They're both dragons.
Oh, wow. That is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And checking the face down banished real quick. No, it's not in there.
So we're going to go ahead and grab Ravine.
Uh-huh. You know, the Electromite limit is pretty controversial. Just because it doesn't matter a whole lot without, like, firewall looping shenanigans. But it does matter for Trish specifically. Maybe that's what they had in mind.
So now we got Black Fanging the Scale. So Scale's complete, so we can go for a big Pendulum summon here because you're getting
and
an
the
arrow.
Harmonizing's already there. Let's pick that Dark Worm back up.
You also have an arrow from the Abomination, which didn't need to be used, but it was there in case it was needed.
Yeah. So here's going to be 4 material. Pick your poison, really.
We're going to go for the Dragon Caller. And just like that, I think Noah's back in this, and he might just be able to just easily take this.
Wow, I mean, we thought Caesar had it, but we also thought he wasn't going to go into a board of Unchained Abomination.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'd really be curious to know what Caesar's line was.
Yeah, I mean, Combo Thunder is, in a lot of ways, has fallen out of favor because it does have a ton of these, like, weird nombos, like hands that don't play well with themselves. It's pretty easy to end on a board that doesn't actually do anything, as opposed to a board that has 8 negates on it.
So we're going to see a Synchro for Ignister. Okay.
Wow. This card is still limited as well.
Yes, and for good reason. I'm happy
Really?
this card is still limited.
Really? When was the last time you saw an Ignister played?
And is Caesar just scooping it up? Yep.
All right. Time for game 3.
Yep. Now side decks are going to be in effect still, so keep that in mind. And again, this is one of the things I'm a little bit concerned about with Noah's deck. You know, 60 cards. He did make a very respectable comeback
Yeah,
But
he's got 15 minutes remaining. That is way more than enough time to walk away with this set.
But again, with the side deck, it's going to be a bit complicated here.
Wait, are we the stupidest people who
No,
ever
that's
lived?
game. That's going to be game right there. Yeah. It looked like they were already like scooping it up though.
The real scoop was in spirit.
Yeah.
Still looking to earn your invite to the $10,000 cash prize Pro Play Tour YuGiOh Invitational on January 24th through 26th in Orlando, Florida? Well, why not attend a Pro Play Tour qualifier at your local game store? Participating stores can host PPT qualifiers with their official Pro Play Tour Store Challenge Kit. Interested in hosting a PPT qualifier of your own? Visit ppgeventmanagement.com to learn how your local game store can qualify to host Pro Play Tour qualifiers today.
If there is any side deck tech from Noah here, I'm really curious to see what it is. There's looks like a handful of spells.
All right, Caesar, let's see how far you can go. That is a Draconet in the hand.
Noah had a very interesting look on his face, and I'm not sure if it's because he had something good. That's a good start from Caesar, though.
Yeah.
Yep. So Draconet essentially represents the full combo here, and it's really going to come down to if Noah has any way to stop this.
All right, there's Ib.
Arguably, a card like Dark Ruler No More could be relevant.
Yeah, it could happen. I don't know if it's likely.
Caesar's taking a pause there.
Yeah, Noah, I think, is a little visibly upset that he has to be prompting him.
Yeah.
You know, I know the combo, you know the combo. Please just execute the combo. I would like to try my battle phase.
No, it's tough, too, because typically what happens is when you're going up against opponents and you know they're going to build a certain board.
Yeah.
The issue becomes when you're going up against a deck like this specifically is that with cards like Levianeer and Darkest Diabolos, you don't know which card is going to get ripped out of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's hard for you to start formulating your new lines of like, okay, if I know he's going to end on a board of Colossus, Appaloosa, Hope Harbinger, that's fine, but it's hard to figure that out if, like, say, the best card in your hand gets shuffled away with the Levianeer.
Like
right?
you don't know specifically what you're going to be able to count on having during your next draw step.
Right, so it's difficult to be able to start formulating those lines and to be able to execute them as quickly as possible without knowing fully what cards you're going to have at your disposal. Because Darkest Diabolos, like if you look at your 4-card hand and it's like, okay, I can just put whatever on top and I can redraw it, at least you know that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, too, because it's 60-card Pendulum, Noah plays a ton of draw cards. So, like, Allure could just be a random factor. Like, I don't know what I'm going to draw off Allure, right?
Right. All right, so likely the next thing we're going to be seeing is a Guard Dragon LP. And then a banish of the... or maybe I'm completely wrong and we're just going for Appaloosa now.
First.
Always nice to have an insulation against Nibiru.
So Galaxy Serpent's going to come back to the field. That's going to...
To chat, we have seen IP Masquerena. It usually features at the end of his combos.
There we go. LP, most likely go to Brotar.
Yep.
Brotar get Levianeer.
Yep. He'll say your 6 better be good, and they better beat several effect monster negations and several spell and trap negations. Activate Brotar, targeting LP, discarding what appears to be a Darkest Diabolos already. Oh, great.
Now let me ask a particular question to you. How do you feel about a deck like this ending on the board that it ends on if it didn't rip the cards out of the opposing player's hand?
Oh, you mean like it builds the exact same board, but it's lacking, a Darkest Diabolos activation, and it's lacking a, what's it called? Levianeer activation?
Right, like, so say, like, you could still end on the same board, and say, like, you use those cards in, like, a similar way, but, like, say, like, Levianeer couldn't rip a card out, but you could still, like, summon it.
I mean, I think it's probably just as degenerate. The purpose of a card like Appaloosa is for one piece of your investment to represent 3 of your opponents, but, of course, it never works out that way.
Sure, it's just something I was thinking about, because I know when people try to think about how to put certain decks in check, like, you're trying to think like the most unfair elements, because it's like, okay, if you have to navigate a board of, Appaloosa and Colossus and all this, but you have a full 6-card hand,
right?
That's drastically different from only having a 4-card hand.
I think that it's important to, recognize that while this deck does have huge explosive turns, it's not a top-tier meta deck. In fact, it's probably not like a top 8 tier meta deck. And that's because it is consistent, it's inconsistent. It routinely loses to hand traps. And as a result, the ways to play around it aren't necessarily banning the cards that are the most problematic, just accentuating the fact that it has very important and exploitable weaknesses.
So here comes the Levianeer, just right on time for that discussion.
Great. We're going to get that one.
And so this might be where Noah can actually start to figure out what he's going to do. Because, again, like I said,
we've got just Diabolos left.
Right. So that's, if your 4 cards are strong enough, it might be okay. But at the very least, then you could just put something on the bottom and draw a new card.
All right, here comes Colossus. And, of course, here comes Darkest Diabolos from the graveyard. And I think we're going to probably see a tribute of the World Chalice Guard Dragon here. Maybe the Romulus to free up the zone. What are you allowed to tribute with Darkest Diabolos?
Doesn't have to be a dark specifically.
All right, looks like first we're going to perform a Link Summon.
So we're going to go for Unicorn.
There we go.
Give him some arrows.
I was like, it does have to be a dark, right?
So we made the Unicorn specifically just so Noah can get another card ripped out of his hand.
Unicorn's been a great vanilla for Caesar these games.
So Noah is putting the card on the bottom, so he's digging.
All right.
So he is not confident in his cards. And now here comes the Levianeer, or excuse me, the
so this
Harbinger.
This was a long combo, but it's ended with Noah having 6 minutes left. He could very easily assemble some kind of lethal shenanigan over the course of this turn.
I will say, too, Evenly Matched is also a card.
Yeah.
Well,
Evenly Matched is a card, and if you take a fast enough turn, Caesar's almost out of activations.
Yeah.
That is a great starter, and Caesar says yes. That's, wow. I don't know about that one.
Letting the Servant go.
So all you have to do now is bait the Spell Negate, which I think this will do. Yeah. I mean, so I don't ever see letting that resolve.
And then this is where we see Shrine come down.
Shrine or a concession.
That's it. Wow. And Noah's going to go ahead and scoop it up, and Caesar is going to move on. So this 5-1 record now for Caesar.
Wow. Almost a lock. All he has to do is win one of the next 2 games, and it's pretty likely that he'll be in top 16.
Pretty likely in the top 16.
His breakers have to be good.
Yeah, the combo mirror matches can just be so rough at times.
Very die rolly.
Yeah, they can be, and I think, again, Game 2 exemplifies exactly what I was talking about when it comes to the 40 versus the 60 card aspect of decks, because Caesar saw 2 of his side deck cards in his opening 5-card hand, and Noah didn't open anything when he was on the draw for the Game 3. And I think sometimes, again, the power of the 60-card Pendulum deck is there, clearly, because they were at table 6. We know that other players were at table 5 or table 4. So the deck has power, but there are weaknesses as well, and I think that is definitely one of the deck's shortcomings in that regard.
There's a multitude of weaknesses. Obviously, it's inconsistent. It folds to hand traps, but also the field is full of Orcust. The monsters that it ends on don't match up particularly good against Dingirsu specifically. They can out your Colossus particularly easily. The Orcust monsters randomly have pretty high attack, so after a single Appaloosa negation, you can just walk over them. It's not very hard to find outs if you're playing the best deck in the format, and as a result, I'm sure that despite this victory, there's a long road ahead for our combo Thunder Friend.
Absolutely, and it's like he could have just had a single negation for that Draconet, and that could have single-handedly ended Caesar's turn. But
Draconet is such a good card.
It is incredible. I don't know how that card's still at 3. But in any case, let's go ahead and see if we can get an interview with Caesar, and by that time, we should be able to go right into round 7. So that sounds pretty good to me. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.